I don't think you have to stop smiling at all, actually. I think that that's what we do when we're together. Um, so I just want to introduce my friend, Helen. She's absolutely amazing. She's from Roma, and we met online. Oh my God, we met online somewhere on some bloody group that we were both on.
I think it was an
And
astrology group or something. Something to do
yeah,
with astrology and business and
that's
yeah.
right. And then Helen's been working with me now for what is it, 12 months?
Yeah, bit over 12 months, I think, yeah.
Yeah, sweet. So yeah, we've got a lot in common. We've worked out because it was the astrology thing because we yeah,
Mm.
worked out that our charts are very similar and it's been quite a laugh quite a lot of times. Uh, so I just thought we would get together and just have a chat and see where this absolutely lands and what goes on for us. Hmm.
Sounds fun.
Nice necklace, by the way.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
some amazing person made it. You.
Oh God, get a load of her.
Looks great. I love it. And I
Yeah.
get so many compliments. Like,
Oh,
oh, where'd you get that? Oh, someone made it for me. No.
actually, remember, you've got to go to that guy and find out about the whether he has that wax.
Oh,
Yeah, check that out for me while you're in Roma.
I forgot about that wax cord.
Yeah,
Yes.
the waxy cord, so I can do
Yep.
macrame. You know,
Just throw that down.
take on the world with macrame. Um, so something that I know that's come up a lot, and I'm just going to be asking people as they come on and have a conversation with me. You've heard me bang on about the space between the notes enough times to get that. And it just intrigues me what we do, like, because, knowing you, I know that you do create space for yourself. So just if you want to just give us a bit of a rundown of who you are, family, all of the things so that people know who they're listening to. You don't have to go into the resume, but, just.
Well, I done this. I travelled here. I lived here. No. But I'm Helen Gibson, and I have got two boys, and my partner, and I live in Roma, obviously. Um, I don't know what else to say really, apart from going through the resume. But um, yeah, I've been sort of journeying into this healing journey and being opening, holding space for other people for about what's it, 26 years now. Probably been doing it all my life, really, but you know, like officially 6 years. What else did you want to know?
What really took you into it, like in the first place? How did it actually evolve into that?
Mm, I think I was doing yoga and just sort of I'd had a little kind of mini reading sort of thing and then I was just intrigued by it all and then I did this class like had a session with someone and then I had a did she said you come into the class tomorrow and I was like oh okay yep righto and I went and then I kind of dabbled in and out of it for a little while kind of oh I don't know if I can charge to do that or those kind of things and then a few things changed and then I went like yep right I'm ready
Hmm.
and it's morphed and changed and grown and then I've gone back to a few things that I did in the beginning so
I did a I did a recording the other day, and I was talking about, you know, you do this, and this. How do you put that on a bloody business card? And I said, you just don't. Um, but like then, that thing of like we start so many things and we don't finish them and we can like get all lashy over it. Ah, you never finish anything. But understanding that like we just take a little bit of this and a little bit of that and we put it in our little cauldron and we've got all this stuff. Like you're someone like me who's done a lot of stuff.
yes
Yeah. So like what's some of the things like?
access bars is one where you're running energy points on your head and through the body and stuff. Lomi Lomi massage is another one. I've done Reiki. I've done mediumship courses, yoga. um, gosh, what else? Something called Kanika, which is a bone therapy type of going into your ancestral stuff and into your body with the bones and light and energy. few energy healing ones, different ones. I kind of played with a few of those to see what they'd be like. A meditation course. I'm currently doing a bit of a vocal playing thing at the moment in one of those little cheap course things, you know.
Yeah.
What else have I done? A chakra one. I've done some sound healing ones with like using your voice and also using like the scale to do that.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you play the flute.
Yeah, play the flute,
And
yes.
the play, what other instruments do you play?
I play most of the woodwind ones, like but baritone saxophone is one of my other main ones, like the big daddy of saxophones. Like it's huge.
Right. You're going to play
Gets
it for me
oh,
next week. Play it for me.
I've got a recording I can send to you.
Oh yes, please. Hey,
Yeah.
have you ever played a oh, so more the wind. You haven't played a cello?
No, I played a violin, but not a cello.
Oh,
Mm.
violin.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit. I was a bit scratchy at it, but my sister was the violin player, so she was the better. But I love the cello; it's so beautiful.
I'm obsessed with cello. Like I can't get enough of it.
Mm.
But a good old sax, mate. I don't know.
But,
Yeah.
especially the one I
You
play,
even
because
do the like, do you do the like this?
it's a bit heavy for that. It's quite big.
Is it?
It kind of. It's probably from, like, I don't. You can't see me, but like from here down to the floor, like
Oh
when I.
wow.
Yeah, it's big,
So
and
it's quite heavy
it
then.
goes down and then back up in the bell. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know how you got the tuba,
Yeah.
like the big. So mine's the big version of the little saxophone. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
it's like got all the groovy parts in the background that you probably don't always notice, but then that's the one you probably move to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Um, so, when you think about you do all that, what do you do to stop?
Well, other than when it makes me stop, no. It used to make nearly get sick before you had to stop, but now I just sort of like there's times where it'd be getting a little bit hectic and I'll just collapse in the chair and do that. Like I will actually surrender. Like I just say the word to myself, surrender. But I sit on my veranda and I have my garden that I can look at, and it just feels like when you walk out there that kind of just slows down. Like everything's just like, oh. Or yeah, or I'll go to a special place where there's lots of trees.
Place you took me.
The yarning circle, yes.
My
And there.
God. I went out to Roma a couple of weeks ago to look at an outback retreat space and got to see I nearly called you Gibbo.
You've got me giveaway.
I got to see Helen in her natural habitat, and she took me to these trees, and oh my God, that circle, that's just so special, and those trees were just really beautiful. So I can understand why you would go there.
Mm. And you encouraged me to take my flute there and played, and I have done that a couple of times now. I
Yeah,
haven't taken the saxophone there. I just don't feel like it's like a kind of.
yeah. The trees might go, mate,
What
like,
are you
mate.
doing?
You said something really interesting at the beginning of that, and you said like, I used to get sick. Like when you don't stop, you get
Mm-hmm.
sick.
Yeah,
I think that we've all been like seriously, if you've been doing this work for any given time, we've all been there where we just keep going and going and going until our body just goes, you know what? No, no more. Because we've been brought up to just got to keep busy.
yeah.
Yeah. So what do you remember, like, do you have any idea when you started to like listen to that or take notice and stop before you drop?
I think I was just trying to think of a time. Like I kind of feel like I've done it, and then I went back to doing that again, and then got reminded, no, slow down. Like, but there was a couple of years I was just going really hard at life and doing everything, and then I got sick, and then the next year it happened again. I went, oh, this is interesting. The pattern that happened at the same time of year, at the same sort
Mm.
of event that went on, and then I was like, oh no. And then the next year, I just cut back a little bit more at that event. And then I just completely left because I just had to make that space for me because I was trying to shove so many things in
Yeah.
to do it all because I felt obligated sort of thing
Yeah.
to do it.
Oh, there's a couple of good ones in that.
Oh, I know.
Oh, so you see your pattern, number one. So you recognize it. I love it when Facebook brings up I had it last year and it brought up a memory of the year before, and I was as sick as what I felt this time last year as well. So it was in July. And so I remember saying to myself last July, you are not doing anything in July. That it's the beginning of July, those first 2 weeks of July, it seems to be a bit of a pattern for Tracy. And then as I come up out of July and into August, I feel fantastic. So I made a promise to myself, nothing for the first 2 weeks of July. I'm not booking anything in. And so you picked up on the pattern, but then you picked up on the people pleasing.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, because you just know you do it.
Mm.
Yeah, like that. Oh, but I can't let people down and I've got to turn up and they're relying on me. And how do you get yourself out of that?
Oh, lots of people to help you. Gotta go. No.
You need a team.
I think it was just like I was looking for something in that. Whether that was recognition or whatever the things were. But over time, I was seeing how much my family were missing out on me during that time.
Mm.
But also, it impacted my business, my health. So I don't really know how I exactly got out of it, but I just know that it was showing me how much my kids didn't get to go and do things with me at that particular event or that time of year. So they'd miss out on things, and then I would just be smashed for like 5 or 6 weeks. Like afterwards, I would be in complete burnout.
Yeah.
Like my whole body was like, ugh.
Yeah.
But I think it was just each year noticing a little bit more, and then in the end, I just had to say no. I just can't do this anymore because, like I said before, there was that something I was wanting from that. But
Yeah.
when I looked at it, really, it's like, well, I don't really need that from. It's actually not helping me. It wasn't even giving me what I wanted.
It's interesting, isn't it? Like when we can step back from it and we can see it, and you get to see, oh, hang on a minute, I was actually trying to fill something in me by doing that. And yet it's not that's going to help me feel full.
No,
That
not at all.
actually like depletes.
Yeah, I think it was the final year I did this event. Um, I remember just watching everything go on and the drama that was going on. And I was sitting back and I was like, oh, this. And I was working on really staying grounded, really staying in my body and not getting wrapped up in all that shit. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if we're allowed to swear on
You
here,
can
but
swear as much as you want.
um,
This is my space. No rules.
and it was like I just saw not that what they were doing is wrong. That's their choice. But it was like I don't want to play your games anymore. I don't want to play into this anymore. Like this is not fun anymore.
Mm.
It's actually, and I could see where I would normally step into it. It's like I was observing where I would normally be
Yep.
in that situation, and then it was like um, I could see where I would be giving away all my energy and be really tired and exhausted. And I still was that last year. It was 3 years that happened. I got sick two out of the 3 years at the event itself, and then afterwards the third time. But it was like, where was I going? I lost my whole train of thought. Then it'll come back.
But
Yeah.
you touched on something really, really good, great there is when you said observing. When you come to the point where you're observing, rather than being absorbed in it and being like part of it, you can actually step out from something and look and observe it, and you get to see, oh my God. Because when you're in it, you don't see it because it's all just happening around you and it's all, oh, I'm just part of this. This is just how it is. When you actually can step out and look in and get that observer happening, you go, oh,
It was a bit gross. Like it, not,
But it
yeah,
didn't
just
serve you at the beginning. Like if you think about, I think that this is just our evolution, isn't it? Like in the beginning, when we start things, it's serving us and it's feeling great and it's doing all the things that then I think it's just that when we do the same thing too much, or we try to be there and yet we've evolved, but this hasn't,
mm,
like this is still the same, but we've like moved on from that and we're still trying to push ourselves like a square peg into a round hole. Yeah.
I always think of those toy things, with the kids and they got the stars and the triangles and stuff, and you're
Yeah.
like the star and the
Get
triangle.
in, get in. Yeah. So yeah, I think that when you get to observe, it's a whole different experience of life. And then you just go, oh, actually, you know what? This isn't for me anymore.
Yeah, I pretty much like I cleaned up all the paperwork and walked in and just here you go, and that was it for me. I was like, and I felt so good afterwards. It was like, oh, I could breathe. We talk about the space. It was like, oh, there's some space in my world again. Like,
Yeah. Just
mm.
creating that space.
It was kind of like you would get like for months, like this thing is a one event thing that would happen in the year, and then but all year I felt like I was sucked into the energy, like it. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain that, but it's kind of would pull me all the time, and then I would like just be drained and tired. So it
Mm.
was like I left myself there all the time.
They're
Mm.
just leeching your energy.
That's what it felt like. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm.
Lucky you
I'm glad I got
realized.
out.
But I mean, how many times do we do that in life? Hey, like if you look back, like friendships, work, other relationships, like, you're in it and it's sucking the life out of you.
Yep.
It's not until you step back from it that you go, oh my God, like,
There's
whew,
so many people doing it though. Like I can observe it a lot more now that I've been in it and seen it
yeah,
and watching. And I used to get really tired and then get cranky with my kids or my partner, and it wasn't their fault, and that's not fair on them. Like, yeah, it wasn't good. But I see it happening all around the place, and like you can't interfere with that process. Like you say to me, you can't interfere. You've got to let people go through that and experience it, so then they can go, nah, no more. That's it. I'm done. Yeah.
but I think that's a really cool point because, like a lot of my clients say, oh, but you knew, why didn't you tell me? And I go, because somebody telling you is nowhere near as valuable as you realizing it. Like
Yeah.
somebody could tell you something a million times, doesn't make any, like you could try and change it, but until you realize it for yourself and you go, oh, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. And you just stop doing it.
Oh, sorry, I was laughing because I was thinking of one day I asked you, do you get sick of repeating yourself to me? And you're like, I don't even know, no.
Don't even realize I do repeat myself.
Because I get to the point where I'm like, oh, Tracy's told me that like 50 times. Like,
And see, it just does it. One of the other girls the other day said to me, I know that you've told me this in all different languages and you've used different words even. And she said, I used to think, I don't know what she's banging on about with that. And then all of a sudden it like landed for her. And she went, oh my God, like I now get it. That's a lot more powerful and that's forever changed now. Like you're forever changed once we realize something.
yeah.
Yeah, like so. Mm,
Mm. I love when it lands, when it finally does land. It's like, oh, you feel a bit like, oh, really? And then, but you also feel kind of like, I don't know, something you just really feels full in you when it
yeah,
does land.
and you
Yeah.
feel like get whoa,
Yeah.
like yay! It's oh my God, I've got to tell the world. I finally got it.
Yo.
And other people looking at you going, yeah, mate, like yeah. I go, just it takes me a little while to pick up what you're putting down sometimes. And I think we're all like that. Like not everyone gets things quick.
No.
I think if you're embodying something, it does take a lot until you actually embody it.
Mm.
So
Because
yeah,
you
you
got to
might be doing
try it out. You
it.
got to, sorry, what was that?
Well, that's when you know you're doing you're doing the work is when you're actually, yeah, you're trying that didn't work. You try this, that didn't work. And then finally, it's the simplest thing, it seems like the simplest thing that you get that bing. Oh, I get it now.
Yep. It's cool because it's kind of like sometimes it'll be like a ping, 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 ping. All these things, the puzzle pieces all like go, oh, well, that makes sense now.
And then you get to see the big picture
Yes.
rather than just that, like looking down the barrel and looking at one particular piece and going, why is that not working? Mate, it's like one piece in an entire puzzle.
Yes. It's
Mm.
like you're saying before, though, trying to fit all those things into one, like that's something I've been grappling with, trying to get everything that I do into one. And you can't just squeeze it all into one thing.
I think it's just that, like, we've never been here before where we're so multidimensional.
Mm,
We grew up with you're either a hairdresser, a nurse, like whatever, but you're a thing.
mm,
Whereas, and so that's where women of our age are like grappling with this. What do I call myself? Like, what do I actually say that I do? Because we do all of this. How do I say, and like to say you're a healer just doesn't actually make sense.
mm.
Because I mean, I think we're on the same page with this healer business, is that we realize that it's not us healing people.
No.
We're creating a really great space for them to come home to themselves.
Yeah, it's been, and like the more that I've learned that and seen that, it's just amazing what can happen in that, just holding that space for someone to process whatever it is that they're going through.
Mm.
Yes. Sorry, I went off. My head went off and
I
into a
just saw you
session
go
then.
there.
Sorry.
I saw you go right there. And I
I'm
thought,
back.
yep, she's gone. There you go.
Sorry about that. I'm back. Okay. I'll just come back.
Like since we've been working together and just watching how you roll with your sessions has shifted, and how now like you're giving yourself permission to, you don't have to touch people.
Yeah. Yep.
You don't even have to speak. Like you could just like sit next to them
Mm.
and the most profound things happen for them.
It blows my mind. Like I did a session today and it just just opening up everything, like my heart and everything, and just not doing anything, just sitting there and doing that and having my cup of tea, talking and just I wasn't talking, they were talking. And the shift that they had, it was in a matter of like 15, 20 minutes. It was without touching, without wearing myself out trying to run around a body or and do all this work. It was interesting to be able to just sit. And it is like, even that to me is a bit like space between like I feel like it just slows time down. Like sometimes when you can just sit like that, it's like, I say it to you all the time, it's like
I always love your sound effects. What was I going to say then? And I think the exciting bit for me too is when you hold space for somebody like that, they're not giving the kudos to you. They're not going, oh, Helen healed me or Tracy healed me. They're actually going, oh, wow, like I've had the most incredible like shift in me. And they're actually doing it. So they're getting to really like see that they are their own healer. All they need is somebody to safely and with no judgment hold the space for them, go through whatever it is. We had a man come to the Sacred Senses the other day, and it was just so cool listening to him because he was just like, I didn't even know what I was coming to here. And like, I didn't know I needed this, but I really needed this. And he said, I'm really like, what I'm loving the most is that we're all just sitting around and just like sharing whatever is in our head and what our thoughts. He said, I've never done that before. And he said, it feels so good to talk out loud what's going on in my head. And I went,
wow.
yeah, how cool is that? Like, that should be how society is. Unfortunately, it's not yet.
No.
Yet. I'm going to say a big yet. Um, but how cool that he actually felt like he heard himself speak his truth without worrying what anyone was saying, like thinking about him. And then he was just like, oh my God. And he's just started to really receive the whole day. It was so cool to watch him. Yeah.
And the food. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my God, that food, that man.
He's amazing.
He was off his chops. Not even lying. The dessert, oh no, the dessert. What did he say? Something like 17 layers.
Oh,
Some of those things that he created had 17 layers in them. That dessert, I don't even know what it was. I can't even tell you what it was, but my God, we were all like, but it was just so like the fire element, just to tell people, anybody that's watching, I'm doing an experience with a wizard
a
chef,
wizard.
who gets food the way I get spirituality. And he combines his whole, like all of it together. And we do this experience through the elements. And the other day we did a photo shoot for the marketing of it. So we went through just the fire, the earth, and the water. And so I took people through what that feels like in their body, how each sense actually comes to life with each of the elements. And then Linton would bring out his food that represented each element. Now, if you think fire, you would think a chef would bring out something that was going to burn your lips off and it'd be, no, 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 no. Oh my God. Because what it was, I love the fact that he actually captured the passion
Mm.
and the like surprise and the like that sort of thing. It was all reds and yellows and oranges, and it did have some chili in it, but it was so
Oh,
perfect that it had the heat without the ugh. Just you felt the heat, but it didn't burn you. And then on the top of it, he put these tiny wee little tomatoes and these pomegranates that when you got them, they actually popped in your mouth like fireworks. It was off the charts. It was seriously off the charts. So yeah, needless to say, it was an absolute success. I can't wait to see the photos. So mm,
it looked amazing. All the
oh,
ones I saw.
dude. Yeah. Mm.
I love the story that he tells with food because you just got to have both. You got to have the story and the food, how it's
I
created.
love the way that none of us actually eat until he's told us the story. Do
Like
you notice that we sit
waiting.
there waiting for the story? It's so cute. Oh, yeah. So, if you think about like now that you do take space for yourself and that time out, and what value do you think it brings you, other than the fact that you don't get as sick anymore?
Oh,
Wait till your body's sick as a dog before you stop.
I just have a lot more like on my patience. I have a lot more patience. I Things are a lot clearer. I don't feel like I'm scattered like I used to be as much. Anyway, there's times where obviously I'm scattered, but it's kind of like I have more energy in my tank at times, and like you can do something and it not feel half-hearted. It's getting done properly, not like just throw that in and yeah, like I still have a lot more work to do with that, but it's getting a lot better. But I think the biggest thing for me was having more patience for everyone, not even just my kids, everyone. Like I can go uptown and not when someone's driving up my bum really. Oh, no, sorry, that was a really bad way of saying it. Driving up my bumper really fast, and I just sit there and just keep driving. I used to get really cranky at people and get really pressured by that.
Mm.
But now I have a lot more space to kind of go, no, take a breath. It's okay.
Mm.
And I love the way that you teach us to not, you've shown us how to do that without having to stop everything to do that.
Yeah.
Like come back to yourself. Even if you're driving a car, you can still come back to yourself and
You don't have
make
to
that
stop and
space.
kumbaya on the top of a mountainside. You can actually just like, be in the shower. You can be anywhere and be able to just call yourself home. Mm.
It just brings so much more, yeah, peace and clarity, and yeah, you just feel, I don't know, it's like you feel like more energy, I guess, from
Mm.
just taking that time, and I hear things more when I slow down, like,
Yeah.
hear more messages or insights, and they just drop in more.
Mm.
Mm.
Something that I witness is like when people stop just going through the motions of their life, like just the ticker box thing of like, I've just got to get this done. I've got to do it. Blah, blah, blah. Like when they stop doing that, they actually give themselves space to step back and they get to see, oh, hang on a minute, I'm just ticking boxes.
Mm.
Or I'm just going through the motions. Like, what part of this am I intentional? Like, I'm not even choosing this. This isn't even what I like doing. And you're starting to realize that, oh, hang on a minute. Instead of just saying, oh, this is the way we've always done it, we get to go, oh, no, I'm no longer available for that. I'm actually going to do it this way. Or, yeah, we bring more presence to our life
Mm.
and we make choices more, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like some lot of I find even with myself, you feel like you're narrowed down to that one track.
Yeah.
But when you slow it all down, you can see that, oh, there's another way of doing that. Like, you got this decision to make, and you're kind of like, I can only tunnel vision see it. But when you slow it down, you go, oh, but maybe I could try and do that way, and then it seems to work out. Like, if that
You get
makes
to
sense.
see all the pathways.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 It's not like you don't feel as trapped or boxed in to that one way of doing it.
Mm.
And I think, I was saying before about the obligation and feeling obligated. I think that when you're doing that checkbox thing, that's what you're doing. Like, you're doing it for everyone else, and
Yeah.
you're not even doing it for you. Like, from
Mm.
my experience, anyway.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yes.
Hey, while I've got you here,
Mhm.
I wanted to ask you because you said something the other day. I'm more than just no gene keys, but I do want to bring this up because I think it was something that really it made me really aware of how we're actually attracted to the person delivering the message more than we are the message. So, what I'm talking about there is for years, and I mean years, people have wanted to give me a human design reading. And I have just flat out just gone, that's a definite no. Don't put me in a box. I'm not interested in human design. I love the fact that you are. I love that. But for me, that doesn't work for me. So I don't want to be known. I don't want to play that game. And then the gene keys came into our lives when we were in Quintessence. I think it was the first year. Gene keys snuck its way in. And I thought, that's actually interesting. I could give that a bit of a look at. Anyway, so I met you and you did human design. And just through the way you were talking, I thought, oh, that's a bit intriguing. And so then I just started to ask you questions about it. And now, like, you've done my chart, we've talked about it, I've had sessions with you, and I just really like it was just because of the way that your interpretation or the way that you spoke about those particular things, it really opened my eyes to, I don't know, there must have been about 10 people that tried to introduce me to human design and I wasn't interested. And then you came along and listening to you and the way that you actually just, I don't know, you wove it through the conversation without actually going, can I do your chart? Um, Now you could say that to me every day of the week, and I go, "Yeah, do you want to do it? Do you want to have a look at that one?"
We
But yeah,
haven't done that yet. We were supposed to. We were
yeah, we
supposed to
were
do that.
supposed to. I missed out on that.
Oh,
Um, anyway, but like, yeah, so I wanted to bring that up with you because it is really, and I hope that you can receive that because it's not so much the message, it's who's delivering it as to whether we receive it or not. Yeah, so with you, like now that I've got you here and I've given you a wrap, um,
thank you.
What is it about Gene Keys and human design that actually has you so, because you are passionate as, mate, like
Don't get me started. No.
how long have we got? 5 hours. We can talk however long we want on YouTube. Just depends if you have to get dinner for the kids.
Oh no, no, Jim's doing that. He's all good. He does the weekends, I do the weekdays, so
Perfect.
time off, sort of.
No.
Um, I really liked human design because it showed me that the parts of myself that I thought were wrong were actually right about myself. That they're actually part of what I'm here to share. And that even though like I do many things and try many things, that that's part of what I'm meant to do, to experience and explore. I also love how it shows you where maybe there's some areas that you can support yourself in, where you might have like got a little bit lost in and gave all your energy away, or there's emotional things. There's emotional energies that can get a bit, disrupted for people. I think that's probably my biggest thing that I love about it, is that you can teach it through this physical system that people can relate to, and you can talk into that. But I also love how it ties in, because I love the language in them, because the words in it really, sometimes I get really hooked on a meaning, and I think a lot of people do that. We get hooked on meanings on words. I always like to talk into the lower expression and the higher expression of the words, of that energy that might be in the chart. But then I also discovered Gene Keys, where it also linked in, because it's all based on I Ching and a lot of other wisdoms. But like I said, I could talk for hours. I feel like I'm like already talking for ages. And I love Gene Keys because it shows you where you are in your shadow, which is the lower expression of that energy. Or it could be where, like, you probably see it a lot. Once you know it, like you see it and you know it, you can't not see it anymore. Like and then you've got the gift in the city. So there's a pathway to get to the highest. How did I explain this the other day? It was like, the city is like, when you're completely enlightened, but it's still, you can experience that even if you're not like crossing over, that kind of. But
you don't have to be Gandhi. You can experience it through
yeah. And like when you look at a word, let's just look at the word, like, the word intolerance. Now, when someone hears that, they think it's intolerance of everything around them. But it's actually that this stuff brings you inward to look at yourself. So where are you feeling intolerant, and where does intolerance show up for you in your world? And what's that showing you? So it really takes you from being external to internal. Because like when we're looking outside, we're generally in the reactive type of energy. I don't know if I've made any sense, but
You've made so much sense, and because you just went into your channel there, and
I just did. I just like, wow, that's good.
There she goes. She's on. She's on. No,
but
you
I also love
yeah.
where it hooks into. Recently, I've been exploring crystals and where that sits, and also with the astrology and how it all kind of fits and how you can support yourself. So I love the tools because they can support yourself. You don't need a reader to sit there and read your human design, maybe to start you off, get you started, get you rolling, and your Gene Keys. But once you got the hang of it, you can actually do it yourself. And
go nuts.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you've done with a couple of us. Like, you started it off, and remember that first night, and we were just like eating Gene Keys for bloody dinner. And then there was a few of us out of that night that just went on and then we would message you and go, hell, we need a session. Like, what? Explain this to me. Explain this to me. Now I do a lot myself, but then I go back to you and I'll go, okay, if this is happening for me, which one do I look at? So I think that it's just that you become a guide rather than a reader.
Yeah, because the readings, I felt like people weren't, it was great, all this information, they loved it, but it never went anywhere. It just kind of I felt like it just when we say it lands, it didn't land.
Yeah.
Like, because it's coming from me, they're not actually experiencing the energy. I said to someone the other day that it sort of shows up. Like when you start looking at one of the keys or a gate, or it kind of shows up for you more and more, and you go, oh, okay.
All right.
Look at this.
I go.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes when you read oracle cards or whatever and you go, no, I don't want that card and put it back into the thing. I've done that with the gene keys. I've gone, no, I don't want it. No, I'm not listening to you today. You're boring. I don't want to know about greed. I don't care. Yeah. Yeah. So you just sort of like you can swipe past that, but you really can't. You got to go back there and you've got to visit with. But I mean, I go to sleep to Richard Rudd's
Oh, it's amazing.
voice every single night. I listen to that Seventh Seal.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
Oh God, no night.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I love how when it's showing up for us, like the it changes every 6 days, the key or the gate, whatever you want to, like whichever language you use, but and it's like it opens doorways, and that's what I really love. It's like, oh, I get to play in that and see how I can shift that energy, and it's like in that 6 days, everyone experiences it,
yeah.
in some way or another, and it might feel really uncomfortable.
You
Sorry,
put us in the group of Quintessence. There's what, 9 or 10 of us in that? Or no, actually, there's 11 of us. So
yes.
there's 11 of us in that group, and we will look at that gene key, and everyone in some way, shape, or form is experiencing that key in that week. Yeah.
In their life, in whatever way that shows up for them. It's and excuse me, and it just takes you out of that. Like if you look at it, you can get a situation. You might react to it the first time, and then the next day it comes up, and you kind of go, "Okay, I can see you now."
There you go. I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And it might be that you take a step back or something, or whatever the energy calls you to do.
But you can also, like, the thing I love about it is if you're finding yourself in the shadow, you can actually look to, okay, what's the pathway? What do I need to actually focus on? Rather than sit here and like, you can actually look at, okay, and now move my energy towards that. And then you can lift yourself up out of the shadow enough that you can look back as an observer rather than sitting in it and going, wow, I'm in my shadow. Get yourself to the gift and then look back as an observer, and you'll learn so much about it.
I was talking to a naturopath today, and I was showing her this system. I was like, taking it on. And the amino acids that are associated with these.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, I think I want to really explore that with her and look at, because it'd be interesting to see if someone really is deep in that shadow aspect, whether they have where they have some level, when they're lower than others in those areas, and to see whether when you move into your gift, whether it increases it, or whether if you had some amino acids to support you with that, it could support you to actually move into it, whichever way.
Yeah.
I don't know, just explore that.
That's a bit curious. Curiouser and curious.
I don't know how to do that right now, but maybe someone will
it'll come
jump out of the woodwork somewhere.
It'll jump out.
It'll be interesting. And I don't know if Richard Rudd's already done that. He probably might have, Ethan, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that relates, because it come up. I was actually one of the keys, and I have trouble sleeping, so I was taking this amino acid called glycine, and then I was reading this key one day, and I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Yeah. I didn't even relate it until later, after I'd already started taking glycine to help me sleep. So
yeah, wow, it's very cool.
Yes,
very cool.
Not that you want to take a tablet to fix everything, but
no. It's just all how everything's interlocked, isn't it? Like, and it's the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspect all coming together.
I was listening to a guy, and he's talking about that we're born, like, because of the way our lifestyle is, we're born, and our DNA and those amino acids we're in deficiency because of the things in our foods and water and all that stuff. Not to go on a big tangent here, but it's like it would be interesting to see which ones
Yeah.
that you have to work through and to support yourself to. I don't know where I was going. I lost that channel then. I was like, oh,
You
God.
were all over it. You were all over it. Well, I think that will, can you tell me if you can hear that in the background? Is my microphone working enough that you can't hear any background noise here? Look at that.
Oh, okay, hear it.
It's amazing. I just find it amazing.
Well,
Cameron,
hopefully it's the same on your recording. I can't hear it, but
Cameron was quietly trying to lift a plate out of the thing, and I'm thinking, I don't think you're going to be heard anyway, so it actually doesn't matter.
the
And
only thing it probably does is, you know how your sound kind of goes for a second?
yeah,
That's probably the only thing it would do.
yeah. Anyway, this is just casual chats here. So, thank you so much for sharing yourself with me and whoever dares to watch this. Yeah, I really appreciate you, and it's been wonderful to have met you and to, live life with you every week with Quintessence. I bloody love it. So, yeah, thanks heaps for putting yourself forward.
Oh, thank you. I've had a great time. It's been awesome. And it felt really good and natural. As I say, organic. Can I say that?
Hashtag. Hashtag organic. Hashtag authentic. Uh, all right, mate. Thanks heaps.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
See ya. Bye, babe.